Hey guys, welcome back to 22 Lima Romeo, where we focus on the competitive side of the rimfire world. We are back out here at the range today. It is the day after Christmas. We figured we'd get out here. It was a nice day. We actually tried to come out here and film this, 3 days ago? Christmas Eve. And we had some hellacious wind. We're talking between 6 and 28 miles an hour, switching back and forth, left, right, up, down. You know how it gets in this canyon. If you've ever shot out here, you know.
This is pointless.
So we kind of pulled the plug on that, decided to hold steady and wait till we had a little nicer day. Today is that nicer day. I am taking you out for the January 2023 NRL22 Course of Fire, the first Course of Fire of this new year, which is actually a throwback to April of 2021. You know, a simpler time in NRL22 history when we didn't use every single barricade we had in the Connex. We're gonna get out there, send some lead, and I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on how I plan on shooting this month's Course of Fire.
Alright guys, starting this month off, we have Feeling Tired. We have a 2-inch at 75 and a 2.5 at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, the shooter will engage the targets with 2 shots each in the following manner. 4th or 5th ladder rung, near, then far. Top of the tire, near, then far. Through the tire, near target only. Note, the tire should be secured to the ladder using a rope so that it is upright with the opening facing downrange. Restrictions: the rifle nor bipod may touch the ground on the last position.
Ready. Yes. 3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright, let's get things going. For this stage, I'm going to use the Grey Ops Mini Plate Pro, the Armageddon Gear Mini Plate Pro pad, and the Weebad Strapless Behemoth. Now, for building a position on a ladder, I feel like reaching up over the top of the optic, pinching the rail of the ladder between your thumb and forefinger, and applying a little bit of pressure is a good strategy for just about any ladder rung. Now, moving over to the top of the tire, I felt like it was best to relax on this position. Build my base nice and wide, allow my muscles to relax, and gain a little bit of stability from touching the top of the tire, because the tire naturally wants to stand up. But when you put a 22-pound rifle on top of it, it tends to get a little wobbly, so I didn't want to introduce any more additional wobble by being tense, so my strategy was just to relax and break these 4 shots. Now once we transition down to the center of the tire to shoot the final 2 shots, the lip of the tire actually makes a pretty stable shooting platform with this Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro and then Armageddon Gear Mini Plate Pro pad. Now I feel like the Strapless Behemoth may have been too big of a bag for this particular shooting position, but I made the best of it, and that's all any of us can ever do. Alright, next up we have Easter Egg Hunt, New Year style. We have a 1/4 inch at 25, a 1/2 inch at 50, a 1 inch at 67, a 1.5 at 78, a 2 at 84, and a 2.5 at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, the shooter will take a prone supportive position and engage each target from near to far with 1 shot each. Then repeat.
Alright, shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
For my gear on this stage, I decided to use the Armageddon Gear Schmedium and the Harris SVRM bipod with the Really Right Stuff ARCA adapter. Now when shooting a classic troop line like this, I prefer to use holdovers instead of dialing every range. It does buy time on the backside of the stage. When you're shooting prone, this is when the foundation of your rifle is going to start to show whether it's stable or not. Having a good solid bag and bipod underneath your rifle really will help you to get more impacts when you're shooting these prone stages. Now something that I didn't feel like I did well enough during this stage, I didn't pay close enough attention to where my bullets were impacting the targets, and that ends up costing me one on that 100-yard target. So as we repeat this troop line, let's go over the fundamentals. We want to have a still, calm, steady mind. We want to have a relaxed body. We want to have good, solid, smooth breathing rhythm, a very delicate and slow, steady trigger squeeze, and a clear understanding of what the wind is doing downrange. Now something I've been practicing that I don't really feel like I've mastered yet is forcing my brain to switch my eyes while I'm on a stage to use my left eye to view the win flags without removing my cheek from the stock. Sometimes I can get it, sometimes I can't, but this I think would be a useful tool to have in your tool bag for precision rifle shooting.
Drop one.
All right, next up we have the final countdown. We have a 3-inch at 87 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, the shooter will engage the targets in the following manner. Off the backrest of the chair with 3 shots. Seat of the chair, 2 shots. Off the backrest of the chair for 3 shots. Seat of the chair, 2 shots. When the shooter is done firing all shots, he or she must yell done to stop the timer. Note, this is the bonus point stage where you earn 0.1 bonus points per second remaining on the clock.
Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright guys, let's get going with some chair shooting. For this stage I decided to use the Wee Badge Strapless Behemoth and the Armageddon Gear Schmedium and Heavy Fill. Both of these bags are going to be used in different ways from each position. From the back of the chair, the Strapless Behemoth is going to be used as a rear bag, and the Schmedium is going to be used as a nice solid stable bag off the back of the chair. While on the seat of the chair, the Strapless Behemoth is going to support my elbow, and I'm going to flip the Game Changer over to create that nice V-groove to set the stock of my rifle in. Now I didn't want to get in a rush on this stage. I wanted to make sure I got my impacts, because I don't shoot fast enough to make up 10 bonus points by clearing this stage in 20 seconds. Now one thing I was fighting during this stage was a little bit of wobble in the back of that chair. Apparently this chair is missing one of the plastic feet from the bottom, so it makes this chair rock back and forth. So it is kind of difficult getting nice and stable and steady to break these shots. But if you take your time, slow yourself down, you can get it on just about any prop. Alright, we are on to Tank Trap Rodeo. We have a 3-inch at 96 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, the shooter will engage the target with 3 shots from each tank trap tip, and then 3 shots from the center of the tank trap.
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
On to my favorite barricade, the tank trap. For this stage, I use the same thing I always use on tank traps, the Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro and the Armageddon Gear Schmedium. My strategy for tank traps is always the same. I spread my feet out nice and wide, giving myself a nice wide base. I square my hips and my shoulders up with my rifle. I bend at the waist, leaning into my rifle. I reach up with my left hand, placing part of my forearm on my bag on the tank trap tip, and resting my thumb on the stock. This is what helps me to lock in and be nice and stable when shooting from a tank trap. It may not work for you because your dimensions may be a little different, but this is what works best for me. So this is the same way I always shoot these things. Halfway through the stage, I start running into a little bit of feeding issues. Now something I'm learning about this Voodoo, this action feeds magazines that are loaded properly extremely well. However, if you're at all careless in the way you load your magazine in preparation for a stage, you are very likely going to run into feeding issues. I notice that if I pay very, very close attention to how I'm loading the magazine with my ammunition, I can run stage upon stage upon stage without a single hang-up or failure to feed. However, if I'm not paying very close attention to how I'm loading rounds in the mags, I often find myself having jams or failure to feeds, which is frustrating while you're on the clock. But oftentimes, a quick mag change can solve that problem. All right, last up for this month's course of fire, we have tough decisions. We have a 1, 1.5, 2, and 2.5 at 100 yards on double hangers. We are going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, the shooter will assume a prone supported position and select which target to shoot and engage that target 10 times. The shooter may choose to switch targets at any time, but must announce the change loud enough for the spotter to hear.
Ready?
She's ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
All right, guys, on to the fifth and final stage for this month's course of fire. We have ourselves another gambling stage, similar to last month. For this stage, I'm going to be using the SBRM Harris bipod with a Really Right Stuff ARCA adapter and the Armageddon Gear Schmedium Game Changer. Now, just like last month, I think it's very important to be realistic about your accuracy expectations of your rifle and ammunition combination. Now, if you've done your due diligence and you know that with your ammunition and your rifle that you can print sub-MOA groups at 100 yards, by all means hammer that 1-inch target out there. However, if you're a little questioning on whether or not your rifle can squeeze that kind of accuracy out of it, or if you, the shooter, can actually squeeze that kind of accuracy out of it, I recommend maybe staying on the 1.5 and getting a clean on this guy. As with any prone stage, pay close attention to your fundamentals, slow down, take your time, make sure your trigger squeezes are good, and you get into a good breathing rhythm.
Wind switched. All right, guys, that is a wrap for the January 2023 Course of Fire. If you guys enjoy this content, do me a huge favor. Reach down there, tap that subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something else that you'd like me to cover in my videos month to month. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, pack our stuff up, and head back to the house. And we hope to see you guys out on the range.